Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Okay, so that's been a request. Someone had requested that I try to keep the videos shorter, more to the point, etc. Now, there's something about that, what I just said, that's an unconscious process and language that men use. I'm going to compare that to the way women communicate. Okay, so before that, I'm going to give you one body language tip, okay? This is what this video is about, but I'm going to add the piece on that I just spoke about after I do this part. Okay, so actually I'm going to give you two. So, when a woman looks up and away, so let's say you're walking towards her in her direction, or she's walking towards you or something, and even if you don't look at her, okay? When a woman looks up and away, that means hell no, no, don't even think about it. It generally means something is really, she's not in a good place, she's pissed off, something bad happened, she's upset, but it's basically saying, hey man, just seriously, just don't. Real life story. So I went to the Matrix in San Francisco, which is now called the White Rabbit. It was at the time it was the #1 club in the city. It was awesome. I used to go there all the time, and I want to say all the time, I mean like 4 or 5 nights a week for years. So I took some buddies of mine, some new buddies, didn't know shit. They were about 30 years old, 31, thought they were cool and stuff, and they had no clue, and I mean no clue. But they came from a upper middle class family. They had these really big lifted up trucks. They thought they were cool. It was all ego, and they just literally had no clue. Just pushy, just boisterous, too loud. And so this really pretty girl was, we had just pulled over and parked about 1.5 blocks up from Matrix. It's on kind of a slight hill, slight slant. And this really, really beautiful girl, classy, beautiful girl was walking down. Now, it was Friday night, and it was about, I would say, 9 o'clock, okay, which isn't that late in the city. And I took one look at her, and she was looking down, and I instantly realized, yeah, something's not right here. She got closer. I was like, oh, she's crying. So I instantly turned to my buddy and said, no, dude, trust me. Just trust me this one time. Not her. Leave her alone, please. He's like, oh, fuck you, man. And he's like, give me all this, arrogant, egotistical bullshit. Dude, fuck you. You're just trying to block me. I'm like, no, Andrew, I'll explain when she walks by. And boom, he gets out of the truck. He walks towards her. He goes, hey, what's going on? And she didn't say nothing. She kind of walked a little bit away from her, tried to walk past him. And he goes, what's going on? And she didn't say nothing again. He goes, hello. And he goes, and then as she passed, he goes, what? You too fucking good for me, you fucking bitch. And she turns around and she is bawling. I mean, alligator tears are pouring out of her eyes. My dad just died, you fucking asshole. And she's just crying her fucking eyes out. So then my buddy goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And then he turns around and looks at me. And I go, see, Andrew, I told you. And he goes, well, how was I supposed to know? I'm like, well, I was trying to tell you. So there's a couple things that happened right there. He was so caught up in his own mind. He got so excited about this girl. He literally couldn't see her crying. Now, one of his friends, I think there was 4 of us or 5 of us that night in that truck. He said, Andrew, how did you not see her crying, especially when she walked closer to you? Like, she was just, like, it was obvious. Well, that's what women call obliviousness. And I'm going to tell you right now, obliviousness is a complete turn off to a woman. Now, obliviousness is left brain thinking. The left brain is the narrow brain. It makes your pupils small, and it pulls them together so you don't see the bigger picture. That is a turn off to women. This is why men completely miss what women call obvious signals, obvious body language, obvious tonality, because you need to be in your right brain to pick up on this stuff. But when a guy does, he's considered classy. And when you're a right brain guy, you're considered very... Now, I'm going to use the word sexy, but it's in a classy way, and it's a huge turn on for women. Now, how you do that is beyond any video I could make. That's something you have to take the course for. This is something we condition into you over and over, and I use a series of techniques to get you to be over in your right brain more and more and more. Why? Because as I've said in all my videos, her mating system has a nerve that curves off to her right brain. If you are showing right brain body language, tonality, resonance, all this right brain stuff, it is an automatic trigger when your pupils are dilated, when you have what's called internal awareness, etc., which again, I will teach you how to do. It is an automatic attraction to a woman. It is powerful. It will make her walk up to you. So if you're constantly using openers and lines, by the way, those are all left brain. Wait a minute, didn't you say in your last video that left brain stuff turns a woman off? Yes. Your left brain is also the memorization brain, okay? It memorizes stuff such as openers and lines and gambits. Guess what we don't do in our course, Crack the Female Code? We do not teach you openers, lines, and gambits. There is a real and natural way to do this. All you have to do is the same thing, but in the right brain. There's a series of ways I will teach you how to do this, and all of a sudden you can approach any woman, anytime, any place, and it'll be completely normal, it'll be natural, and you will feel completely comfortable because you're not bullshitting, you're not lying, you're not pulling some fake canned line out of your ass. Women don't like that, and your unconscious mind, your emotional system picks up on that and gets really nervous when you do this stuff. So if you've ever wondered, why am I so nervous around women? It's because you're lying to her right off the bat, and she's looking at you like, really? And your body's going, shit, she's not happy, and now you get nervous. But instead of becoming more natural, you do more of these openers and lines, and you just keep digging a bigger hole. Okay, so I want you to buy my book, Sex Signals. It's about 20 bucks. There's one technique in there that I teach to you. It's really simple. It's not a technique. It's something that women do unconsciously. It's something their mating system is doing. It literally is opening the door. It's like you're walking down the sidewalk. She's inside a white picket fence, and it lets you know, like, she literally opens the door to the picket fence gate. She pulls the gate open, and it's her way of saying, hey, I'm inviting you in for a conversation. Now, this doesn't mean sex. She hasn't gone up the steps with you and opened the front door, but this is how you know, like, oh, she wants to talk to me, and it makes it really obvious. But here's the funny thing: when you read it, you're like, man, I wouldn't have thought that in a million years. Because to the male brain, what women do, this thing that they do, we think they're saying, no, I'm not interested, when actually she's saying, yes, I'm completely interested. Get my book, Sex Signals, and find out. That one understanding alone is worth the 20 bucks. Better yet, get this image right here, the ultimate package. This has Crack the Female Code, Sex Signals, Get the Girl, Keep the Girl, and a secret list of internal languaging, which I introduced to you, so when you take the course, you're already prepped and ready to hit the ground. So that's $75 on sale right now. It's normally $225 to give you an hour one-on-one coaching over the phone, a question and answer period. Go to the page, the ultimate package, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so back to the very, very beginning of the video about how men want things to be to the point, shorter, etc. The left brain, the male processor, is the get to the point brain. It's point A to point B. Men love this form of communication. We also love lists and structure, okay? This turns a woman off sexually. This kills the romance. But here's the thing, you do it normally and naturally because, well, this is the way you think and talk all the time. This is why a lot of guys will go to clubs and they try to spend money. If you are spending money, you are doing it wrong. I don't spend a dime when I go to a club. I don't buy a single drink, and I haven't in over 15, 20 years. You don't have to if you understand how to process in the right brain way. Because so the male brain, we speak in very short words or phrases. And I say to women all the time, if you're lucky, you get a whole sentence out of them. And women will bust up laughing. Oh my God, it's so effing true. Men just get to the point, A to B. They give you a word, a phrase, and if you're lucky, a sentence. And if you're really lucky, blessed by God, you get 2 whole sentences out of him. This is what we call logical left brain processing. When 2 men talk, this is how they talk. Guy A, blah, blah, blah. Guy B, blah, blah, blah. Guy A, blah, blah, blah. Guy B, blah, blah, blah. So they go back and forth, blah, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back. And this is a massive headache giver. It gives women headaches. You're interrupting her all the time. It is rude. It is There's no class, there's no sensuality, there's no romance. But men do this to try to turn, or not turn a woman on, but to impress her. And let me tell you right now, when you're trying to impress a woman, that's left brain energy. Impress means push. The male energy is the push energy, just like the electricity that comes from the electric factory. That is literally called the male energy. If you've taken a basic electricity class like I did in 9th grade, the energy that's going through the male wire is the push energy. The returning is the female. So if you look at a plug, there's a male, I've got to forget the name of it, but a male one that goes in, a male, and then the other one is the returning energy that returns to the electric factory. It has to flow. If there's blockage in there, then it interrupts the thing and it turns off, okay? Essentially, when men talk to women, they are blocking her communication, and this turns her off. Believe it or not, but the electricity that goes through our body, through our hearts, through our brain, and through our muscles, it's the same thing. It's the same positive and negative electrons, okay, or electricity, okay? You've got the positive push energy male, which penetrates and goes into the light bulb, and then the returning energy is like the receiving, like the woman's vagina receives, okay? So when you try to impress, it's like a penis pushing in, but you're doing it too soon before she's turned on, before she feels comfortable, before she relaxes. I'm going to give you a tip right now. She needs to relax around you. Do not do caffeine. Do not do energy drinks. That will turn a woman off. Slow down. Ever notice the guys that are leaning up against the wall? They might even kind of fat and overweight, but for some reason they've always got a cute girl. The girls are always talking to them. There's a reason why, and I'll break it down in my course. I tell you what, if you buy my the ultimate package for $75 right now, after you read Crack the Female Code, give me a call. I'll give you an hour conversation, and we can ask anything you want, and I will answer that question about why and what to do and how to do it. And yes, this is me in the image. This was about, oh God, I'd say 10 plus years ago. Yeah, it was about 10, 11 years ago. Okay, so now let's compare the difference between the left brain. It gets to the point, okay? You say things very direct. The right brain says things more in depth, and it's more descriptive. If you learn how to do this, it triggers her mating system, because her mating system has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's communication center. If you speak this unconscious language in the way that she speaks it, she can't help it. It'll drive her nuts. So the right brain describes things more in depth, and it's real simple. Instead of saying, "Oh, I just bought a new truck," she will add descriptive words to it, which means, and don't be afraid, guys. And it's funny because every guy is afraid of this. Adjectives and adverbs. In the course, I will make it super simple how to do this, and we'll go over and over, and you'll be like, "Yeah, that's not that hard," and it's not at all. And it's as simple as this. The guy says, "I bought a new truck." One descriptive word, new. She says, "Yeah, it's a big, bright, shiny, cherry red 4x4 Toyota new truck." So that's like 7 descriptive words right there, okay? With women, you have to use at least 3 to 5 descriptive words, and I tell you what, she'll look at you, and what this does is it stimulates their frontal lobes. This is called mental stimulation. Women need mental stimulation to be attracted to want to continue to have a conversation with you. If you do this, it's like you release a drug into her system and she can't stop it. If you want to take a real step, buy the ultimate package, or at least buy the book. The number 1 book you have to read is Crack the Female Code. This goes in depth on everything I'm talking about in all of these videos. That book right now is $35, and again, that's going to go up very soon. Buy it now. So here's the deal. So I just taught you that women communicate and describe things in depth, which means they have to use a lot more words, sentences, and even paragraphs, okay? Now, why I'm going to say something to you, and you're going to be like, "Shit, that's happened to me like 100 times." Watch this. All right, so let's say you're having a conversation with your girlfriend or wife or a woman you're dating. So you're having a conversation. She starts to talk, and she's going blah 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 blah, and you're like, yeah, just get to and you're being nice, you're being respectful, and they say, yeah, get to the point. And all of a sudden she looks at you, her eyes go dead stare, and like, "What did you just say?" And all of a sudden she's pissed off. It's like you just killed her firstborn child. They get I'm just gonna cuss. They get fucking pissed. So if I'm out with a bunch of guys or hanging out with some friends or something and they're talking to a woman, say, hey man, just tell her to get to the point. Just trust me. You want to see fireworks? Tell a woman that. Get to the point. Nothing will piss a woman off like that. Now you're like, but why? I remember when I was really learning about the left language, the right brain language, and I remember this was like, oh God, probably 30 years ago. And a friend of mine looks to his girlfriend and goes, yeah, just get to the point. And I went, oh shit. Now this is before I was teaching this, and I just knew like, oh, she's gonna get pissed off. And she goes, what the fuck did you say? Get to the point? Fuck yeah. And he's like, what? And I have to admit, in my high school girlfriend, my girlfriend in my early 20s, I did the same thing, and I didn't understand. What are you mad about? What the fuck did I do? And this is where men get lost. Like, why are women always pissed? That's how much the left brain language pisses women off, and we do it all the time, and we don't even know we're doing it. Here's the other thing. The reason why I use get to the point a lot in my videos is because you guys like that. If I use the female language, you'll tune out instantly. You want it direct. You want to get to the point. And the left brain is also about now. You want it right now. This shows a woman that you're desperate and that turns her off. If you want more power now, buy my book, Cracked Female Code. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at crackedfemalecode.com. Thank you guys for listening. If you like this video, click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.